Hey everyone, my name is Joey V, and today I'm excited to share my latest challenge with you, implementing a mechanic designed by one of my peers into this tile-based game project. This has been an incredible learning experience as I not only adapted their mechanic, but I also integrated it in with my own work to create cohesive gameplay. The mechanic I've introduced is a toggleable character system that works alongside pressure plates and disappearing walls. This mechanic was originally designed by Corbett Akerd, and it involves two-player characters who must work together to solve puzzles by interacting with pressure plates that open doors or clear obstacles. Let's dive into the gameplay. I've designed 3 levels to demonstrate how this new mechanic affects the player's experience. This is level 1. Here the players are introduced to the toggleable character mechanics. Each player has a dedicated side of the level, and they must toggle control between the two to navigate to the win tiles. Player 1 needs to be on player 1 win, and player 2 needs to be on player 2 win. There is still some particle effect for the win. And you only hear a completion when both are on the tiles. This is level 2. This level introduces the teleport player tile, the interact block tile, and the pressure plate disappearing wall tile. The player must navigate through the maze of teleportations to get to the win. This is level 3. Both the navigator and driver mechanics come into play in this level. Players must utilize both characters' interaction with pressure plates and disappearing walls to navigate through a shared space to solve puzzles. This level highlights how cooperation between the two characters is essential to reaching the goal. For example, walk in and I cannot go through the wall. The hint says sometimes you need some help. So we'll swap over. Player 2 can destroy this wall while player 1 goes to the teleport. And there's that. With all the mechanics being shown, let's take a closer look on how the mechanics were implemented. So starting with the pressure plate mechanic, the pressure plates are configured to detect if either player is present. A required adjustment to the blueprint logic to include all relevant character types, ensuring the plate triggers correctly regardless of which character steps on it. The blueprint includes a custom event that checks for the player's presence and activates the associated disappearing wall. This is the disappearing wall. When the pressure plate is activated, it triggers Destroy Wall custom event. The blueprint logic for the wall ensures that it not only visually disappears, but it also updates the collision so the players can pass through it. This involves spawning in a new floor tile to replace the wall and resetting the can enter variable to true to ensure that the player can go through. For the toggleable player characters, we actually have to go into the level blueprint. The toggle system allows a player to switch control between two characters. It was implemented using a flip-flop node to alternate possession between either player 1 and player 2. Each character inherits from a shared parent class, ensuring shared functionality while allowing specific behaviors for each. So the pressure plate blueprint checks for overlapping actors and calls an event when triggered. The event verifies which player stepped on the plate and activates the linked wall. The comments in the blueprint outline each step. Now on to the tile wall disappear. This uses a destroy component just to get rid of the wall section, giving the appearance of the wall exploding. Then I had to ensure that the tile type was replaced to a tile floor, ensuring that the player can walk across. But I also wanted to ensure that can enter was set to true to ensure the player can get across. This again uses a flip-flop node to switch control between the two players. So for example, you always start with entity player 1, so if you flip it, it goes to player 2. As soon as you flop it, it goes back to player 1. And it just repeats as often as the Q button is pressed. This blueprint is set up to ensure smooth transitions during the swap. One challenge I faced was ensuring the pressure plate worked for all player types, as one player was a direct child of entity player and the other inherited from entity. I resolved this by modifying both entity players, ensuring that they are children of entity player. I also put them in their own folder called pairs, just to show that they go together. One thing I forgot to mention is that when starting a new game, you need to ensure that this player is auto-possessed, meaning player 1 being auto-possessed. You ensure that by auto-possessing player 0. The second entity will stay disabled, therefore allowing the swap back and forth. In conclusion, this project has been an exciting opportunity to adapt and integrate a peer design mechanic into my own work. By combining the toggleable players, pressure plates, and disappearing walls, I've created a sequence of levels that highlight the importance of teamwork and puzzle solving. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to hearing your feedback on my implementation.